if you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video to watch. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button. My name is Fisayo, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 of the most important skills that every creative person needs to develop. It is really important for us as creatives that we become the best versions of ourselves, no matter the industry that we find ourselves in. As creatives, our focus is usually on upgrading our skills, getting the next big contract, being part of an amazing project, and having a great body of work to put in our portfolio. And as a result of that, we often forget that while competence will open the door of opportunities, character will keep that door open. So yes, I'm talking about soft skills. A lack of soft skills can limit the potential of a creative person and negatively impact your career. I've worked with a few creative people over the years, and I've noticed that while a lot of them are competent, soft skills are lacking. As much as we develop the core skills that is necessary for what we do in our industry, we need to understand that soft skills help for increased productivity and they help us to become better people. So you have to be deliberate about developing these skills so that you can grow both personally and professionally. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what some of those skills are, and I hope that we'll begin to develop them deliberately as much as we do our core skills. So the first skill we're going to be talking about is listening skills. So many times we think that listening is all about keeping quiet while someone else is talking. And while that is a good thing, listening is much more than that. It's much more than paying attention or keeping quiet, being absolutely quiet when other people are speaking. It is much more about paying attention so that you can effectively interpret what they are saying. When someone starts to speak, you want to listen to understand so that you can ask more questions that will open up discovery. For instance, when a client gives you a project, there will be a time for question and answer between you and that client so that you can get the scope of the work they are giving to you. Now, when you ask them questions, you want to pay attention to their responses, both their verbal and non-verbal responses. You need to pay attention to body language. So there are questions that you will ask a prospective client and they will respond with a smile on their faces. There are suggestions that you will make that will make them squirm or make them feel uncomfortable. You need to pay attention to their body language as you speak. It will be a bit difficult for you to understand to get that if you are talking on the phone. Sometimes you can sense a person's emotions by the way they answer, by the way they respond to a question you're asking over the phone. So when you are speaking to someone over the phone, you want to pay attention to their hesitation. You want to pay attention to their quick responses. Sometimes they will help you complete a statement. Sometimes they would hesitate a little before they give you a response. But if it's a physical meeting, you need to really pay attention to their body language. You need to pay attention to their countenance. You need to pay attention to their tone of voice. All of those things are very important things that you need to take into consideration. Then the last part of that is when you're working with someone, especially a prospective client, you want to take into consideration their own suggestions. So the problems we have as creative people is that sometimes we feel like we know it all. So we have experience, we've worked with quite a number of people, we've done a lot of projects, and when someone else is coming to us, a new client is coming, we tend to become all-knowing and we don't try to listen to their challenges or listen to their problems. So as a creative person, you want to really listen when the client or when the prospective client is speaking. Sometimes a client can come to you with a preconceived idea, but from experience, you know that if you try to implement the idea, it may backfire. So you need to find a way of communicating the defects of the idea. You need to put it across in a way that will not sound too harsh. You need to be diplomatic about how you respond to them. So you will not totally knock off the idea. You will not totally condemn their idea. You just twist it in a way that they will become compelled to take your own idea. They'll become compelled to approve of your own idea. Never shoot your client down. Just find a way to turn things around in a very diplomatic way, in a really compelling way, that they approve of it as soon as you say it. Now, one thing you should know is that word of mouth is really important. It can make or mar your career as a creative person. You want to make sure that people are saying good things about you. You want to make sure that people are saying great things about you. Now, I don't mean that you should begin to please people at your own detriment or at your own discomfort. Just work, have good work ethics, have good values, and let that reflect in the work that you do for other people, so that when you are referred, they will refer you in a positive way. Second soft skill is teamwork. So many of us creatives are skilled in so many things. We know how to do a lot of things. And so when we are given a project to work on, we want to work on it alone for our own convenience. Sometimes I believe, I really trust the work that I do. I believe a lot in the work that I do, that I find it difficult for somebody else to do it for me. I understand that that's not good enough. I need to take other people's ideas into consideration. So I have developed this tolerance and giving people rooms to come and work with me or work as part of my team. I'm giving people rooms to make mistakes and correct, because while I was also developing my skills, I had opportunity to work with people who allowed me to make mistakes and learn from my mistakes. And today I'm becoming a better person. So as a creative person, you need to give room for other people to work with you. Teamwork is basically a collaborative effort of a group of people to accomplish a brilliant result. And as a creative person, you need to intentionally develop a way to work with other people. There's a saying that if you want to go fast, you go alone, but if you want to go far, you go with other people. When you're not mindful of how far you have come, you fail to take it easy with people who are coming behind you. So when it comes to a time where you're working with people and they're not giving you the desired results that you want them to give, you need to really think back on how you started, how things were for you, and then be tolerant, tolerate other people, and like I said earlier, give them room to make mistakes and learn from their mistakes. I realized that if you are really good at something, if someone else does it, you find it difficult to approve of what they've done. But it is part of being intentional about the way you treat other people. So learn to work with other people, learn to work as part of a team. Don't condemn what other people have done, just be tolerant. The third soft skill is solving problems. So my mantra for 2023 has been, I'll figure it out, because what other choice do I have? I have to learn how to figure things out. When you're working on a task and you're facing problems, you need to find a way to fix it. Problem solving is basically about identifying problems and brainstorming ideas, what solutions to implement to fix those problems. And as a creative person, you want to be proactive and you want to always think on your feet, because nobody is coming to figure it out for you, especially freelancers. So if you are given a task, who are you going to make? Except you have mentors somewhere, you have senior colleagues somewhere that can help you out, there's no problem. But sometimes when you don't, sometimes when you have a deadline, sometimes when you have nowhere else or nobody else to go, you need to figure it out on your own. So you need to learn how to solve problems. All right, so how then do you cultivate problem solving habits? So the first thing to do whenever you are faced with an obstacle is to identify what the issue is, then interpret the obstacles that you are currently faced with. Then assess your options for solutions, your options for fixing those things, and then implement what you think is the best solution for that. I know it's not as simple as I have said, but that is just the process you go through. And after you have implemented them, you want to figure out whatever needs to be worked on further. Fourth soft skill is time management. Now, if I become generous enough to just dash you 1,000 naira, I can always get 1,000 naira back. But if I give you 1 hour of my time, I can never get that 1 hour back. We all have equal amounts of time in a day. We all have 24 hours in a day. And it will interest you to know that there are people who are maximizing their 24 hours a lot, and there are people who are complaining that 24 hours is not enough. So I would rather be stingy with my time than be stingy with my money. Although I'm not saying it so that you can ask me for money. Listen, this is a great time to be alive. There has never been more opportunity to achieve your goals in all of human history than there are today. And as a result of the explosive growth of technology, the rate of change has accelerated almost beyond our capacity to keep up with it. The biggest single waste of time is setting off without setting goals. Never set out to do something without setting goals. In today's world, you need to be intensely goal oriented if you want to go far. So people always say that I like to work a lot. I'm a workaholic. I don't chat with friends. And what I always say is that it's not that I don't chat with friends, but I don't like frivolous talk. So I would rather open up my laptop and be working on my laptop while I'm speaking with you than to just stand and speak. So not that I don't value people, not that I don't value, small chats, small talks and all of that. But so I plan my time, and yes, I'm part of the people that say that 24 hours is not enough, because I have a lot of things that I really want to achieve, and engaging in frivolous talks will not help me achieve that. So as much as I'm working on my people skills, I am also very, very time conscious. And as a creative person in 2023, you want to be really intensely time conscious. The final soft skill is leadership. So everything rises and falls on leadership. Leadership is everything, and the onus of leadership falls on every one of us. Until I read the 360 Degrees Leader many years back, I used to think that leadership skills was only for people in leadership positions. So when I read the book, I realized that everyone at every level that we are need to develop leadership skills. I'm going to be honest with you, good leaders are rare. Good leaders are rare, and that's because a lot of people think that leadership is about giving instructions and being the boss. But what leadership really is about is service to other people. Leadership is actually about serving people and influencing them positively. So if you're a leader, or if you want to become a leader, or in fact as a creative person, you need to start developing your leadership skills. You need to intentionally develop leadership skills. And some of the few skills you need to develop as part of that is you need to have empathy. You need to develop your mentorship skills. You need to develop reliability. You need to develop strategic thinking. And you need to develop the ability to lead yourself. Right? Leadership is first within before it's without. If you are still struggling with procrastination, if you are still struggling with managing your finances, if you are still struggling with managing your health, if you are still struggling with meeting up with deadlines, then I think you have a long way to go. Okay, so those are 5 soft skills that you need to develop as a creative person. And my advice for you is to go and learn more of these soft skills. Soft skills, as you develop your soft skills, be intentional about doing that side by side with your art skills. I hope that you have found this video valuable. I have said a lot, I've said a mouthful. If you loved it, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified when I post these videos. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Fisayo 1. I will see you in the next video.